If you've got a real estate website and you want to get more leads from it and close more deals organically, you should really consider putting effort into SEO, or search engine optimization. Now, how do you improve your SEO skills? That's what I'm going to cover in this video to hopefully save you some time so you don't go out making a bunch of mistakes trying to improve your rankings and get more leads from your website. Now, whether you are a real estate agent, investor, developer, doesn't matter. I'm going to talk about how to think about SEO and the order in which you should prioritize the projects you're working on. Because here's what I'll say, SEO is kind of a never-ending battle. You can always find issues or things that can be fixed on a website. You can always come up with new ideas for content and landing pages. And when it comes to trying to get backlinks, it just doesn't end, but you will get to a point of seeing diminishing returns. So understanding the hierarchy to guide you through your SEO efforts is what I want to talk about. And hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Jacob. If you're new here, this is a channel dedicated to helping you get better rankings for your real estate websites and YouTube channels. So here's what we're going to cover in the hierarchy of your SEO skills. Number one, getting the base knowledge. Number two, content, optimizing existing content and creating new content. Number three, backlinks. Number four, optimizing your user experience. And number five, optimizing for conversion. Let's get right into it. Number one, getting a baseline set of knowledge when it comes to SEO. You should spend at least a couple hours if you're brand new to SEO learning about how it works, the core ideas and things you need to pay attention to when you're looking at a website. For example, keyword research, competitor research, on-page SEO, technical SEO, and how to do a website audit. When it comes to the basics, you'll also want to spend some time learning about how the Google algorithm works. Forget about all the details and the technical things. Try to spend a little bit of time understanding Google, because all it is a $1 trillion sorting machine. And if you're trying to rank your website on Google, it is in your best interest to understand how the algorithm uses search intent, user signals, engagement, EEAT, backlinks, all of these core principles that go into SEO so that you know how to manipulate certain things to put your website ahead of the competition. Now, if you're trying to figure out who to learn from, I'm a big fan of the Ahrefs YouTube channel and blog, SEMrush, Brian Dean, and Nathan Gotch. Those are four really good YouTube channels and blogs to learn about SEO. My all-time favorite SEO teacher is Nathan Gotch. He has been a huge mentor to me. I'm in his coaching program. He's got a phenomenal library of videos and articles on his website. Now, that's just my preference. You can learn from whoever you want, but try to find someone who really knows their shit and just follow them. Because everyone on the internet who talks about SEO is going to be teaching different strategies and have different opinions about what works and what doesn't. So rather than confuse yourself by trying to follow everyone, just pay attention to one or two really good sources until you've covered the basics and have a good sense of how SEO works. Number two, creating and optimizing content. Now, on the hierarchy, content is by far the most foundational piece you're going to need for SEO. If you don't have content, nothing else I'm going to talk about in this video is going to make a difference. Experiment with content on a website you already have access to before you try to start a new website. Now, if you don't have any kind of website that you own, then you'll want to go get one for your real estate business. When it comes to content, it is all about understanding the search intent someone is looking for when they search for a keyword, so that whether you are making informational articles or lead generation pages, understanding the intent will help you create the most thorough, accurate, and helpful content for whatever the keyword is. That should be your goal. You want to make the best page for whatever the keyword is you're targeting. Now, whether that is a 400-word landing page or a 5,000-word behemoth of an article is going to come down to search intent. Another thing you'll need to do is know how to look at a page and think to yourself, okay, if you're not ranking number one with that page already for the keyword you're going after, do I need to be more patient and give this a little bit of time for it to get better? Because sometimes it just takes time. Or is there something wrong with this page, or is there something missing that needs to be adjusted so we can improve our rankings? You'll want to use a tool, for example, Rankability, to make sure that you are creating and optimizing the most relevant page of information for the keyword you're targeting. Now, if you are just getting into SEO, I would recommend going after a long tail, easy keyword that is really specific and not super competitive. For example, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier to rank for the keyword, how expensive are waterfront homes in Lake St. Louis, Missouri, than, let's say, best realtors in St. Louis, Missouri. Start with easy keywords because that will more than likely increase the rate at which you start to see returns. I mean, depending on your website, you can target a super specific keyword, create a page for it, and start ranking within a week. Whereas if you go after a really difficult keyword, it might take months, if not years in some cases, to even make it to the first page of Google. Now moving on, number 3 is get backlinks. So once you've dabbled with creating new pages, whether they're landing pages, informational guides, or transactional pages, you're gonna wanna think about backlinks. Now, in the context of websites on Google, backlinks are sort of the equivalent to likes on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. A backlink is when one website has a link somewhere on that site that points to your website. It could go from their homepage to your homepage, one of their articles to your articles, their homepage to one of your articles. Doesn't matter. Backlinks are a really, really important factor to rank on Google, especially for competitive keywords, which is why I said in the last point, you want to start off with very long, very specific keywords because those are more than likely not going to be very competitive, so you can rank easily. The more competitive a keyword is, the more backlinks it's going to take for you to rank for that keyword. Links are one of the biggest signals to Google that your website is reputable, trusted, and authoritative in your industry. And the more links you have from websites that already have a lot of links, the better your pages will perform in the rankings. I mean, if you want to think about it this way, which of these do you think would perform better for an article about the Oklahoma real estate market? Sally's local mom blog with 2 or 3 articles on it, or Forbes? Everyone knows Forbes. They are trusted, they are authoritative, and they have a shit ton of backlinks. So they will rank for pretty much whatever they want to rank for. The goal with your website should be to acquire high quality backlinks from high quality websites so that on the spectrum from Sally's website to Forbes, you can start to inch a little bit closer towards Forbes and make your website overall stronger and more authoritative. Now, moving on, number 4 is user experience. You want to make sure that your website is easy to use, it's simple, it is intuitive, your pages are set up properly, the flow of the information makes sense for whatever the topic is, and the design is easy to use, easy to read, and easy to navigate. If you've seen one of those websites that looks like it was built 30 years ago, the buttons don't work, the text is hard to read, that is a big problem. You want to avoid that as best you can. You want to keep your website simple and make it easy to use for anyone of any age. As much as there are all sorts of fancy plugins and animations you can do on your website, simple works. And simple is oftentimes fast, meaning how fast your website loads is a really big part of user experience you want to optimize for. So you don't want to have a big, clunky, really slow website because you have all these plugins and all these animations and fancy design elements going on. You want to keep it as simple as you can while still giving the best value to the visitor to your website. And finally, number 5 is optimizing for conversion. And the reason this is at the top of the hierarchy is because unless you already have content and backlinks and a decent user experience, you don't really need to focus on converting visitors into customers. Now, when you start to get dozens and hundreds and thousands of visitors on your website, it becomes more and more important to make sure that you are optimized to convert those visitors into leads. So you'll want to make sure you're using the right colors and buttons and lead forms on your website that are designed to get people to click and do what you want them to do. And this is where you're going to want to experiment with a bunch of little design tweaks and copywriting adjustments. And you'll probably want to split test different pages, different designs, different colors to see if you can just get one of them to perform a little bit better than another. Because think about it this way, if you have one page that's designed to get leads and it's getting 1,000 visitors a month and converting at 1%, if you can just tweak that to go from 1% to 2%, you go from getting 10 leads a month to 20 leads a month from that page. Which that might sound like a lot to you, that might not. But if you have dozens of pages like that, it starts to add up really fast. So those are really the 5 core steps you'll want to cover. And the thing to know about SEO is that it is a game of experimentation and implementation. As much as I can sit here and talk about the theories and the tactics that I've used till I'm blue in the face, if you do not take that information and go start making tweaks and making adjustments on your own website, you're not going to move the needle. So really, I would say start by just getting a general understanding of SEO, content, backlinks, and then start to create and optimize content on your website. And really see how far you can go with just content. Try to see what keywords you can rank number 1 or even number 2 or number 3 for before you start worrying about backlinks. Because let me tell you, with content, you can get pretty far as long as you're targeting specific long tail keywords before you really have to get into backlinks. Now, once you've got at least a dozen pages on your site, then you might want to consider going after backlinks to boost your site's overall authority and kind of hopefully lift up all those pages in the rankings, assuming they are well written and well optimized for that search query. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below, or just send over an email or a text message and I'd love to talk to you. So I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.